Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
Not even looking for snails. I mean, it is just microscopic, Jen, the stuff we're looking for. But it blows my mind that people can figure out by looking at that, what we need for the future and, what we've seen here on Earth in the past.
It's so exciting. That was such a great interview, Steph. Thank you for sharing all of this with us. That's exciting. Also exciting in a different kind of way. That was what's happening in the tropics here, and so in a good way. This is a time where folks have a heightened sense of awareness about what's going on in the weather in the tropics, because we have potential tropical cyclone 9. So first, your eyes go to the big flare-up of convection, the bright colors, right? That's where we have the thunderstorms. It's well now to the west of the island. You can see just a little bit of thunderstorm activity right over those West Indies and right over the Leeward Islands. So let's track it and model it out. This is the European model. The models have been slightly different in their tracks. The Euro has always been a little bit further south, so this takes the center further south. The thing right now is that we don't have an exact center fix yet on it. That's why the hurricane hunters are flying through. And so once we get a center fix, the models will do better at telling us where it's going to go and how strong it will be. The Euro has been further south. It's been a little bit weaker. But either way, it does bring the moisture over the island, so we do get some rainfall out of it. There's, right now it's about 900 miles from, one corner to the next of how big the whole general circulation is. So we're definitely going to get some showers out of it. But where does the center go? That's the question. If the center tracks over Hispaniola, it would definitely be disrupted by the terrain there. We've got a widespread area of 3 to 5, maybe even 5 to 8 inches of rain coming into Puerto Rico. And that could be beneficial rainfall since we need it. But of course, you don't want to see the hazards that come with it, like flash flooding and mudslides. If it tracks right over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, where we have some big mountains, especially over the western portion of this island, it would disrupt the circulation, preventing, intensification at this time, maybe even tear it apart. Jim, the question is, where is the center? And then what happens if it tracks to the north of this island? NASA is closely watching the weather on Florida's Space Coast this morning. Engineers are eager to launch their rover to Mars. The 6-wheeled robot is named Perseverance, and it's scheduled to leave Earth tomorrow morning. We have live coverage of the liftoff right here on AMHQ. And for now, our Stephanie Abrams is at the Kennedy Space Center for a Perseverance preview this morning. All right, Steph, it's been so interesting, everything that you're sharing with us so far. What's up now?
So let's talk about the weather now, Jen. If you look online at the weather criteria that the 45th Weather Squadron puts out, they have, 14 main concerns. A majority of those are lightning, but when you talk about the wind at the surface, it can't exceed 38 miles an hour. If the ceiling's less than 6,000 feet or the visibility is less than 4 nautical miles, they can't launch. And by the way, they can stop that launch button up to 5 seconds before launch. But lightning is the main concern. Just like us, they have to wait 30 minutes if there's lightning within 10 nautical miles. But here's the interesting thing. It's not just natural lightning that's the problem.
Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
New Mars rover launches to the red planet. So let's head back to Kennedy Space Center, where Stephanie is awaiting liftoff. All right, Steph, so what last-minute tasks are happening right now?
So they're doing the fueling, right? And they're getting that all ready. This rocket in total is going to weigh over 1 million pounds before it takes off. So they're finishing the fuel, and now basically we're just waiting. You can see the countdown clock holding at 4 minutes. They're doing all their final checks right now, and at 4 minutes it will start to count down. Of course, we are go for liftoff. You can see the weather is just, when this rocket takes off, it's going to reach Mach 1, the speed of sound, in 35 seconds. 35 seconds. It has 4 solid rocket boosters, which it will release once, it gets up there. And we'll go through that whole process once this launches. But as you can see, clear skies, no worries about any showers or thunderstorms. Of course, lightning is the big player. Unlike airplanes and cars, we're protected in those. These rockets are just not built like that. They need to be light, right, so they can take off and get off the ground. So the question...
We love to say here at the Weather Channel that everything is all connected, and it is. So what does the record-breaking heat that we've had along the West Coast, one of our top 10 hottest days ever on record in Phoenix, have to do with the cooler temperatures that are enveloping the center of the country? Wait till you see some of these readings coming in. And how will both of these actually impact where Isaias will travel in the Atlantic? Well, let's talk about the how and the why. This track, I know, is something that you all are watching very closely, but across the entire nation, your weather is actually impacting this track. So let's talk about it. The fact that we have this heat across the west here, that's a big ridge that's building in the west. And we're going to see this trough in return dig down across the east. That's going to bring the cooler weather that we will see into the Midwest, even a noticeable change in the southeast. And as that trough digs down, that trough and the winds that come along with it, that southwesterly flow here is going to help pull up our system right up along the coast. And it's going to influence the track as we get within the weekend. So let's put this into motion, and you'll see it. This is your Saturday forecast as we continue to watch this hurricane track right up. Now, exactly where it goes here, that's still to be determined. But we do know the fact that we have a trough building in is going to help pull it up around and along the eastern seaboard. For now, we've got Isaias lashing the Caribbean, and we've got the heavy rain and winds to go along with it.
Isaias not looking like it's going gangbusters this morning, Steph, but that doesn't mean we won't have impacts in Florida, as you very well know.
Right, and as you've been talking about, Jim, and that's what we have to follow, right? Because if it's stronger, it's going to feel different portions of the atmosphere differently than if it's weaker. And so that's actually what shifts it from east to west. And for Florida, for something to parallel the coast like that is really worst case scenario when it comes to forecasting, because, you know, if you have those hurricane force winds out 45 miles from the center, a little shift east, 20 miles this way or that way, can make or break you. So that's why we have to watch this very closely. And let's talk, it depends how close it is, how strong those winds will be. And as many of you know, you just need a little tropical storm force gust to take out power. And so these are things that you need to just start thinking about right now. If I do lose power, where are my batteries? You know, do I have food that I can eat that if I don't have power? But with that dry air and that shear, it's really kind of pushing all the elements off to the east side when you're talking rain. And so it is a little lopsided. So right now it looks like that heaviest rain will be on the east side. It's going to try to wrap it around no matter what, because that's what these hurricanes do. But Jen, it looks like right now that heaviest stuff will be offshore, which is great, because really Florida, all of Florida, I should say, does not need the rain. We're doing okay on rainfall, especially South Florida.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, we had such a wet May and then June and now July. So yes, but let's talk more about where it goes.